Connecting four-way switch junction box where the power wire passes through the box. Junction box for the four-way switch must be large enough to accommodate the cable and switch according to the National Electrical Code calculations. Wiring sketch of the four-way switch in this junction box. Three-way system connections using this type of splicing in the junction box. 3-wire cable from the first three-way switch. 3-wire cable to the second three-way switch. Cables secured to the stud within 12 inches of the cable entry into the junction box. Remove the cable sheath. Cable sheath removed. The cable sheath shall extend into the junction box not less than 1/4 inch. Cable wires. Bare, ground wire. White, neutral wire. Black, hot wire. Red, second hot wire. Green wire nuts should only be used to connect the ground wire. The green wire nut has a special hole at the top that allows the bare pigtail of the ground wire, one of the ground wires to be spliced, to be exposed for connection to an electrical device after splicing. Popular tan wire nut which that fits most connections. Group the ground, bare, wires together. Select a longer wire for the pigtail wire. Trim the other ground wire to no less than 6 inches long. Connect the trimmed wire to the longer pigtail wire with a green wire nut, and then insert the connected wires into the junction box. Shorter ground wire twisted around a longer pigtail wire. The length of free wire from the removed cable jacket must be at least 6 inches. Ground wires connected with a green wire nut. 3 to 5 twists are sufficient as too many twists may damage the wire. Spliced ground wires inserted into the junction box. And pigtail wire left outside junction box. Group the hot, black, wires from both cables, trim them to no shorter than 6 inches, and strip the ends of the wires about 1/2 inch. The ends of wires are stripped of insulation by about 1/2 inch. The length of free wire from the removed cable jacket must be at least 6 inches. At least 3 inches of wire must extend from the front of the junction box. Using pliers and a wire nut or just a wire nut, connect the wires together and insert them into the junction box. Twisting the ends of the wires with pliers ensures a better connection. Connection secured with a wire nut. 3 to 5 twists of the wires are sufficient to prevent damage to the wire insulation. spliced wires inserted into the junction box. Use black electrical tape or other means to mark the white wires of both cables as hot, as they will no longer be neutral wires. White wires marked as hot wires. Group all the wires and pigtail wire. Trim them to no shorter than 6 inches and insert them into the junction box. Trimmed wires. Inserted into the junction box. To connect a 4-way switch, remove the wires from the junction box, strip about 1/2 inch of insulation from the ends of the wires, and make a loop in the end of each wire. The ends of the wires are stripped about 1/2 inch. And a loop is made at the end of each wire. 4-way switch, front view. 4-way switch, rear view. Ground terminal, green screw. Hot input terminals, black screws. Hot output terminals, gold screws. Wires from the junction box that will be connected to the 4-way switch. Ground, bare, wire that should be connected to the ground terminal, green screw, of the switch. Hot, white marked black and red, traveler wires from the cable from the first 3-way switch, power source, which must be connected as a pair to input connection terminals, as per manufacturer instruction. Both wires of the same cable as a pair must be connected to either the input, black screws, or the output, gold screws, switch connection terminal. It does not matter whether a pair of wires from one of the 2 cables is connected to the input or output connection terminal, and the wires from the same pair can be connected to the same terminal, input or output, in any order for the switch to operate properly. Hot, white marked black and red, traveler wires from cable to the second 3-way switch, which should be connected as a pair to the second switch connection terminals, output. Connect the ground wire, bare, from the junction box to the ground terminal, green screw, of the switch. Ground wire connected. Connect one of the traveler wires, white marked black in this example, from the cable from the first 3-way switch to one of the input terminals, black screw, of the switch. Wire connected. Connect the other traveler wire, red, from the cable from the first 3-way switch to the other input terminal, black screw, of the switch. Other wire from the same cable is connected. Connect one of the traveler wires, red, from the cable to the second 3-way switch to one of the output terminals, gold screw, of the switch. Wire connected. Connect the other traveler wire, white marked hot, from the cable to the second 3-way switch to the other output terminal, gold screw, of the switch. Wire connected. For the switch to operate properly, both wires from the same cable must be connected as a pair to the input or output terminals of the switch. The wires of the same cable to the same pair of switch terminals can be connected in any order. To maintain consistency, wires of the same color can be connected to one side of the switch, and wires of a different color to the other side, but as a pair from the same cable they must be connected to the same terminals, input, or output, of the switch. Insert the wires into the junction box. Make sure the ground wire does not touch any of the hot screws of the switch. Secure the switch to the junction box and level it. Switch secured to the junction box. Install the switch wall plate. If this video is helpful, please subscribe. Comments are welcome.